Our word that we're focusing on this week is the word persecution. Persecution. And you see it represented in the picture because that person has Jesus, the cross of Jesus in their hands, and now they're being restricted. Persecution can be a bunch of different things, but sometimes it's not necessarily to hurt you, restrict you. Well, let's get to the definition. The definition of persecution is this: troubles that the unbelieving people of the world, because they are enemies of Christ, cause for a Christian. So it's not just bad things happening to you or bad things happening to you because you're a Christian, but it's that as a Christian, you're telling people about Jesus, and people don't like your message so much, they don't like you, and they don't like you so much, they start to threaten you and hurt you. Maybe it's mental punishment. Maybe they actually threaten you physically. Maybe they don't hire you. Maybe they don't let their kids play with your kids. Maybe they isolate you. Maybe they call you names. But somehow you're suffering simply because you share the message of Jesus. And persecution, again, happens in many different ways. I have a map here, and this is a map that a different organization called the Martyrs, Christian Martyrs, and everywhere that has a color on it is a spot where there's actual physical persecution of Christians, where they actually have people that are beat up and killed. The darker the color, the more the persecution. And you can see the United States isn't there, but it's amazing how close it is. And in those spots, it's absolutely scary to be a Christian. Now in America, we might not have documented people being killed because of Christianity, at least not very much. But there's all kinds of other persecution that goes on in like mental ways and job ways and silliness ways. And so we do suffer from it, and it will probably continue to spread. In the whole world, right now, the greatest persecution of any religious group is that of Christians. More Christians die because of their faith than anyone else. It's just we don't always feel that in America. There we go. Here's the stats. 80% of visible, measurable religious persecutions are against Christians in the world. So Christians are the number one persecuted group. We just maybe don't feel it in our city. Persecution can be subtle and silent in ways that you can't measure. It happens to you and me. Like, be quiet. Just don't talk about Jesus. Don't bring it up. But we need to. So in our story, we saw that Peter was arrested. He was persecuted. He was told to be quiet. He was restricted. And that'll happen to you and I in some way whenever we follow Jesus and let people know about his name. If we never get any persecution, it might be because we're not telling people about Jesus or living too much for him. Persecution. It's what happens when Christians tell the message of Jesus.